Like, what the hell is this? What is this design? I can't tell what this outfit reward is. What is this? New adventure, out of sorts. Tulip expresses doubts about her place in Ravenclaw, so you take the issue to an expert, the sorting hat itself. Was there really a necessity for an entire TLSQ where someone questions whether they belong in the house that they are in? Good morning everyone and welcome to whatever this TLSQ is. I don't know. I actually read no data mine on this, so I'm for the first time in a long time completely blind going into a TLSQ. So well, let's just start the TLSQ before I procrastinate any further. Oh hello Tulip. As usual, I'm always coughing in the middle of videos because my throat hates me. Hi Tulip, you wanted to see me? Yes, so glad you could make it, Sarai Silvers. I mean, I love Tulip as much as the next person. Why am I questioning also Mrs. Norris is right there. Are we really going to sneak into the office while Mrs. Norris is right there? I feel like there are so many things I can no longer question in this game. I need you to help me break into Dumbledore's office. Yes, exactly. While Mrs. Norris is standing right there. I'm sorry, did you say you wanted to break into the headmaster's office? Yes. Now hurry, we don't have much time. He's in the courtyard now, but he could be back any minute. Slow down, Tulip. Before we do something as rash as break into Dumbledore's office, I need to know a bit more. I didn't really think much about what I was gonna wear, so I just kind of threw on that Bobaton's outfit. It was pretty cute. What's this about? Some kind of prank? No, it's much more important than a prank. This is about the future Sarai Silvers, mine and yours. Oh my god, big words. What the hell? Also, is no one going to talk about this? As I'm sure you people are aware, I don't like TLSQs much. Mostly because they, require too much recording and too much editing for not much payoff. Because these TLSQs, they're pretty much nonsense at this point. I had some time learned with the sorting hat, so I thought I might borrow it. There's something called asking for permission. Why don't we just ask permission first and think about committing crimes later? We don't want to get caught breaking into the headmaster's office. Besides, you need a password for that. I don't think we have the password. It is also well known that I hate most adults, most specifically my college professors. But even though I hate them, when I want to do something, I kind of just ask for permission. If they say no, well, I just kind of ask someone else. Let me get this straight. You want to break into Dumbledore's office and steal the sorting hat because you're feeling nervous about the future. I don't understand the thought process, but okay. Exactly. Are you going to explain your thought process, Tulip? Don't you think that's taking things a bit too far? I only need that hat to answer a few questions, Sarai Silvers. If you just need a few questions answered, why don't you just ask permission? I mean, yes, I know my professors never really answer my questions. That doesn't mean I don't ask. I kind of just irritate them until they answer me with at least something. Like either they give me the answer or they point me towards someone else who give me the answer. The longer I'm at Hogwarts, the more I start to wonder about the sorting ceremony. My whole life is going to be determined by a few minutes with a single piece of headwear. It occurred to me just how many students the hat has to sort and how different we all are. There's no way the sorting hat is 100% right all the time. Isn't that hat has legitimacy? Doesn't the hat have... I kind of disagree. I think the hat is right. I don't think so, Tulip. The sorting hat's been right at this for quite some time. Surely it knows what it's doing. Perhaps, but that's not enough to bet your future on. At least not for me. It just determines your house. Since when does your house determine your future? It just determines your future at school maybe, but not outside it. I need to know for certain that I belong in Ravenclaw. I think it's already been established in many different scenarios that Tulip does in fact belong in Ravenclaw. She's got her own set of smarts. I didn't know you had doubts about your house, Tulip, but I can help you find the answers you're after. I'm sure the sorting hat knows what it's doing and a quick talk with it will put your concerns in perspective. But can we just ask for permission? That's precisely why we have to break in Sarai Silvers. Look, first of all, let me just point out again for the fourth time that Mrs. Norris is right there. Phil's just probably 2 inches away. And secondly, why don't we just ask for permission? If you want to talk to the sorting hat, there's a simpler solution than breaking into Dumbledore's office. I'm all ears. You saw Dumbledore in the courtyard? Yes, that's how I knew the coast was clear for a break-in. Then I'll go there now and talk with him outright. Perhaps that way I can arrange an audience with the sorting hat without anyone losing house points. And without any cat pouncing on us. Or Filch threatening shackles. I know Tulip likes pranks, but we need to think things through a bit more. Thank you, MC, for having brain cells for once. What is happening? Why do I love being a Gryffindor? Because Gryffindor is the best. Yeah, suit yourself. Is that Gryffindor running his mouth again? What is happening? What are you people doing? Gryffindor and Slytherin waste their time arguing about who's best. That's why Ravenclaw always comes out on top. Have you been watching the Quidditch matches? Hufflepuff's been winning because plot armor. Although there is this long-standing rivalry between Hufflepuff and Gryffindor and Slytherin because of the whole books and movies thing. Professor Dumbledore, may I have a word? I would like to not break into your office and do something responsible for once. Hello, Miss Silvers. To what do I owe the pleasure? I was hoping to talk with you about the sorting ceremony. Oh? Yes, my friend Tulip asked us a few questions about the ceremony. I'm hoping she can talk to an expert. We'd like an audience with the sorting hat. And if you say no, then we're just gonna break in. We've asked for permission first and break in later. I see. The sorting hat may not be available at the present moment, huh? But tell me the precise nature of Miss Crassus' concern and perhaps I can arrange something. Why doesn't Tulip just tell him herself? Like, isn't this personal information? These two kids in the back just gonna keep yelling at each other. Slytherins really should have their own courtyard. Okay, so this... I don't like the way the Slytherin is looking at me. Okay, so this entire TLSQ is basically house bias. House bias this and house bias that. I've got so much studying to do. Perhaps I should start with the memory portion. I think everyone should start with the memory portion when it comes to studying. Can I have a memory portion? Tulip's starting to wonder if she got sorted into the wrong house. Perhaps I'll take a quick spin through the reserve before class, okay? Miss Crassus was lucky to have a friend like you. Okay, thank you very much. You know Tulip, she needs to learn things for herself. Good point, so do I. The sorting ceremony is an important tradition. You want to learn about it. A quick conversation with the sorting hat could put Tulip at ease. Okay, so why is there a whole TLSQ for this? So Miss Crassus is having doubts about her placement in Ravenclaw. As students approach their latter years in Hogwarts, it's only natural to feel uneasy about one's future. And Miss Crassus always had an admirable skepticism when it comes to authority. Admirable skepticism. Yes, she likes to come to her own conclusions. But I think a quick conversation with the sorting hat could be enough to put her at ease. Do you think that could be arranged? I appreciate you speaking with me so candidly about all of this. And I'm glad you've taken such an interest in such an important tradition. But as you've taken such an interest in your friend's plight, I must ask, do you share her concerns about your placement at Hufflepuff? I really don't. I really haven't. I know I'm where I belong, headmaster. I'm just helping my friend. Yeah, no, I really have not had that concern ever. That's good to hear, Miss Silvers. Miss Crassus is quite lucky to have you as a friend. Okay. In appreciation of your honesty and forthrightness, I'll arrange for you to speak with the sorting hat. Assuming it's not too busy, of course. Why would the hat be too busy? It's a hat! It's only used once a year to sort students. A hat can be busy, sir. Oh, I'm sure many things about the sorting hat will surprise you. Perhaps even what it has to say about the sorting ceremony. I'll try to keep an open mind, sir. I'm interested now. Then I'll go prepare the hat for visitors and send for you when it's clean. Brilliant. I'll get Tulip and we'll come to your office as soon as we hear from you. Alright? See? Asking for permission works. If only adults could be half as nice as Dumbledore is being about this. I get insulted to my face. If it's not obvious, I really, really hate my teachers. With the exception of one. There's one teacher. He's fine. Other than that, everyone just sucks. Hi, Tulip. Thanks for talking to Dumbledore and earning us an audience with the sorting hat, Sir. See, isn't this better than breaking in? Now you can get some answers without having to break into our headmaster's office. See? I told you this would work. Though that might have been interesting. No thanks, please. I get caught every time I try to sneak in here. At least this way the sorting hat knows we're coming. Hopefully, you can get some honest answers about the sorting ceremony and put your mind at ease. Oh, hello. I didn't notice it was there. And see, I haven't seen this hat since the first year at Hogwarts. Remember when this game just came out? When this game came out, we literally just chose our house. Jeez, it's been so long. It's been so long since I've seen the beginning of this game. Ravenclaw is the encyclopedic few, the knowledgeable grouping, tosh. These rhymes are rubbish. Perhaps I'm losing my touch. Huh? Sorry to interrupt, but Dumbledore said you might be willing to speak with us. We were hoping to ask you a few questions about the sorting ceremony. So how is this hat going to react? Miss Silvers, perhaps you can help me. Why? I've been working on next year's sorting song all day. I'm stuck trying to rhyme with this line. Okay, so you are asking me for rhymes. Sir, I suck. I've been trying to write this once rhyme and rake pick song for over a year now. I've never been able to finish the last stanza. Just last stanza. There's one stanza left in that song. And I've never been able to finish it. I'm stuck trying to rhyme with this line. Though wittiness cannot be taught. If you help me finish my rhyme, you can ask me a question. You can ask me any questions you like. Why? This is so arbitrary. Is this what the hat is constantly doing? Writing songs and that busy? What else times it taught? Bot? Well, we'll think of something. I mean, sure. But I'm trying to think of something, my mind just goes there. This the hat. The hat. It's a sentient hat. Come on. The new line must be about Ravenclaw. Okay, so that thought got lost. This is me. This is me. Okay, look, it's a hat. It's a hat with a conscience. It's making me nervous. I'm going to skip through this. The sorting hat has always kind of given me the heebie-jeebies. So and I never felt the need to say this because it's like you see it once in an entire Hogwarts story. You see it only one time in this entire game, is what I'm saying. And how about that? With just a bit of brainstorming, we come up with 2 perfect options for the rhyme. Starting off with, though wittiness cannot be taught, I can say either it comes easy to the academic lot or quips the Ravenclaw have got. See, the second one doesn't make grammatical sense to me, so I guess the first one. So I can't make up my mind, which is best. It comes easy to the academic lot. I think I'll say this. I think it comes easy to the academic lot says it all. Ravenclaws are quite bookish. That's true, it's definitely characteristic. Nicely done, Sarai. Thank you, Mr. Hat. You've shown classically Hufflepuff kindness in your compliments of Ravenclaw. I mean, okay, it's nice. I don't know how to talk to the hat, okay? Don't judge me. Now that my song is sorted, tell me what's on your mind. I think Tulip needs to say that. Tulip has some questions about the sorting ceremony. She's wondering how you determined she was well suited to Ravenclaw. As head girl, I am compelled to help any student who feels uneasy in their house. Yes, head girl. We never do any head girl duties. Come on. I don't often hear from students who are unhappy with their placement. I don't have an issue with Ravenclaw. It's just that I've never tried any other house. You can't try any other house. You just kind of... After the sorting ceremony, students just take your word that we belong where you put us. But I don't even know how you came to your decision. All due respect, of course. Of course. A student in the wrong house would be a dire situation indeed. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that. Why is that? Because it's never happened. If you don't believe me, I suppose you'll just have to go and see for yourself. Now, I thank you for your help with my song. Feel free to drop in any time and say hello again. It's a hat. It's a very nice hat. Hello? Mr. Hat? I think it's gone to sleep. Or it's ignoring us. The hat just... Perhaps he offended it. Or we're onto something. I think it's obvious you've touched a nerve. He's gone into hiding. Dude, it's just tired. Perhaps the hat's just tired. I don't think we can be sure we touched a nerve. He just kind of said that it's never happened. I haven't spent enough time talking to hats to know this isn't normal. Perhaps not, but I still have a lot of questions. Luckily, the hat gave me an idea how to settle this without itself. It did. Yes, but we'll need a solid plan if this idea is going to work. What is this TLSQ? Meet me in the Great Hall and we'll figure out exactly how to get to the bottom of this. Oh my god. Barnaby is drooling again. Where is he? He's standing he's sitting right over there. It's so boring outside today. That's what I'm saying. The TLSQ is kind of boring. Well, if you were in there, boy, it wouldn't be as boring. I kind of miss dating TLSQs. I never wear my best outfits to the Great Hall. Too messy. Understandable. There's also food here which people can throw at you. So, Tulip, what are we doing? Hi, Sarai Silvas. Thank you for meeting me. I've been thinking a lot about what the sorting hat said before it went quiet on us. It said we should take a look around. So that's exactly what I intend to do. That seems easy enough. There's plenty of students to look at here. But I don't want to just look at them, Sarai Silvers. I don't know what the whole point is. I want to study the houses firsthand and learn all I can about each of them. Then I'll know for certain if I'm right for Ravenclaw. I think we've already proven that. This is not the first time Tulip is questioning her placement at Ravenclaw. This has happened before. And we've already established that Tulip does belong at Ravenclaw because she is smart. She's got her own set of smarts. It's just directed towards pranking. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Or if the sorting hat just put me in the same house as my parents. I think family is kind of dependent on that. You didn't say anything about your parents before. By the way, I didn't know they were in Ravenclaw. That's because this isn't about them. It's about me and my future. Alright, well, if you think studying the other houses will help, I'm in. Brilliant, I knew I could count on you. We just need to figure out the best way of learning about each house and what it means to belong there. I mean, I'm a Hufflepuff, I'm standing right here. We'd learn a lot about by visiting the common rooms if we'd have to sneak in. Not again! What are you looking at? Nothing? I'm not even talking to you. If we have friends in each house, we could talk to them. Hearing from other house members would certainly give us perspective. As you can break into the... Why do you constantly want to break into places, Tulip? This is concerning. Barnaby looks quite bored. Oh my god, this man's falling asleep. I'd wear bibs to each meal if they weren't as ugly to look at as a mustard stain. Bibs do look really bad, don't they? They really do, sadly. They should rename today Dull's Day. Have you had nothing to do today? Come on, Barbie, let's play Disney Dreamlight Valley. That's what I've been doing the entire day, waiting for the electricity to go. But the electricity never went, and so I'm recording this TLSQ now, and now it's when the electricity decides to go. Honestly, I prefer dull days over annoying days. And since I have to spend most of my days in college, they're mostly all annoying. The days I don't spend in college are dull, and that's what I love about them. The fact that they're dull. Oh my god, that's wonderful. The dull days are the brightest days, is what I'm saying. That's it, Sarai Silvers. You have friends in each house, you can start by talking to them. And we needed to discuss this for 3 hours to come to this conclusion. TLSQs in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. They really have no reason for existing. I bet we could even get a few of them to sneak us into their common rooms so we could get a closer look. That way, we could learn what the house means to them and get a look at their space at the same time. Knowing our friends, they'll jump at the chance to brag about their houses and show them off. We just need to decide on the right member of each house to talk to. Please tell me we're going to Barnaby for this. I don't want anyone else. Please don't make me go to Marula. I really don't want to talk to Marula. I'm still mad. And who will be willing to sneak us into their common room? And we need their trust and their discretion. I'm bending the rules as head girl enough as it is. You're a terrible head girl and Rowan should have been here. Slytherin may be tough, they're a prickly lot. All except Barnaby and Liz, by the way. Come to think of it, he might be a good person to talk to first. He seems a bit bored today. Oh yeah. Okay, so apparently this is what we'll do to relieve him of his boredom. Hey, can you sneak us into your house? Not the house. Your house common room? Plus, he's generally willing to help, and I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say about Slytherin. This is one of the few things Hogwarts Mystery did right. The adorable characters in Slytherin. Slytherin has always had such a bad reputation in the books and movies, and then you come to Hogwarts Mystery, and the first Slytherin friend we have, not Marula. Marula is the Slytherin rival, typical. She was the Draco Malfoy of the game. She pretty much still is. But after that, we get Barnaby. An absolute adorable boy. We love him. Everyone loves Barnaby. Does anyone not love Barnaby? I cannot think of one person who doesn't like Barnaby. And if you don't like Barnaby, who hurt you? That's brilliant, Sarahi. Barnaby is the perfect Slytherin to talk. Poor boy is also really bored. I'm sure he'll be willing to bend the rules if only to show off the Slytherin common room. Then we'll start in the Slytherin common room and see if you would be a better fit in the cunning tree. Honestly, Tulip would fit there too. Like, there's no doubt that she wouldn't fit there. It's just that Ravenclaw really does suit her. I can't exactly say why, but Ravenclaw is a fine house for her. It does suit her. Again, like I'm saying, this has been established in the past that Tulip does in fact belong in Ravenclaw because she's got her own set of smarts. And I think this is the 4th time I'm saying this in the last 27 minutes. You and Tulip sneak from common room to common room, learning what it means to be a member of each house. Will it be enough for Tulip to determine where she truly belongs? I mean, sure, we can trust Barnaby to keep the secret, but what about all these other people who can't? Never mind. Something in here smells a bit Ravenclaw. See, why are there other people here? Shouldn't we wait for the coast to be clear before we come? I think I've lost something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, these are first years. I mean, if they're first years, maybe... No, wait, why am I saying that? That's just mean. I don't mind outsiders getting a glimpse at the superior common room. It helps them understand the truth. Okay, shut up, Nula. But shouldn't we have waited for everyone to leave or something? So this is the Slytherin common room. It's a bit creepy. See, that's what I thought the first time. I love it. I'm not saying the creepy thing is bad. Glad to hear it, Tulip. Not everyone feels the same way. But I do. It's home. Thanks for agreeing to talk with us about Slytherin Barnaby. Of course, anything from my favorite head girl. Oh my god. Okay, am I really this affection starved? That Barnaby, a video game character by the way, calls me his favorite head girl. Me being the only head girl by the way. And that is enough to make me blush. Am I really this affection starved? Oh my god! This is like Volo calling us his favorite customer, but like it doesn't make sense because we've never bought anything from him until the end game. Why am I this affection starved? Why am I turning pink from Barnaby calling me the favorite head girl? And Marula, you're here for what? Sucking out the moral support from the room? Barnaby's proven what a lunk he is by sneaking you two in. Shut the hell up, we love Barnaby in this household. I can't let someone like that be Slytherin's sole representative. Excuse me, we can't let anyone like you be Slytherin's sole representative. You know what a bad reputation Slytherin's had over the years. Thanks, Marula. Now, I think Barnaby is the best representative of Slytherin and he should be the sole representative of Slytherin. He is sweet boy. This is how Slytherin should be represented. So we can bring Liz in too. She'll be a good representative too. I'm not sure it was a compliment, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, Barnaby. We're trying to teach Tulip about Slytherin, and you two represent two sides of Slytherin spectrum. The absolute adorable guy who will protect his friends, even though that is never shown in the game because Jam City sucks. Or, well, Marula. Knock off Draco Malfoy. So it will be nice to hear from you both. She said, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts about my Ravenclaw placement. I felt alright, but I've never tried anywhere else. I can't help but wonder if I just fit in just as well. I can't read. I can't help wondering if I'd fit in just as well or better elsewhere. Why don't we start with you two telling us a bit about Slytherin? Did you always know it was right for you? Alright, I'll talk, but let's make this quick. I've got important things to attend to. What? Attending to your aunt and our... We never talked about that again. Like, Ben and our friends have been so fixated on MC's father being the art leader that we haven't even talked about Marula. Marula successfully got attention off of herself by revealing our father. Like, she sucks. As much as I love Marula, she kind of just sucks now. At this point, I don't like Marula much. It's just that, okay Marula, I'm mad at you, but I love you enough to hope that you don't die by the end of the story. Like, just stay alive so I don't have to feel bad. Can you think of anyone more cunning, resourceful or ambitious than myself? Yes, Barnaby. He's standing right here. When I got sorted into Slytherin, I was like, what? Really? But why though? I mean, I think Barnaby thinks that way because I think at the very beginning when we met Barnaby, he was like, I think I'm only in Slytherin because of my parents and because Slytherins always have interesting childhoods. And when we met Barnaby in the beginning, he was like this, right? I appreciate you both talking with us. I'm all yours. Honestly, there was never a question of if I fit in. I mean, look at me. What do you want me to look at exactly? There isn't much to look at, Marula. I wondered if I was a good fit for a long time. Barnaby being the sincere one here. That is why he is the best representative. As you all know, I'm a natural leader. Frick you, you are not. Oh my god, I'm still salty at you, Marula. I'm still salty. When did you know Slytherin was right for you, Barnaby? Do you want me to point out when I thought Slytherin was a good fit for him? It was before we befriended Barnaby. But these lines in the corner, one of Barnaby's lines was, I want to be the best wizard I can be. That's what Slytherin was all about. And it was so sweet. This was before I had a crush on Barnaby, by the way. This was when I saw him in the game for the very first time. And later when Barnaby became our friend, I just saw the reason he's in Slytherin is because his ambition is protection. Which was very, very cute. And I love it so much. And it's such a shame that this game has Jam City just focused on the fact that Barnaby is thick-headed and can be a bit of an idiot. The game just focuses on that part. And it never focuses on his good parts, like the fact that he's protective, he's loyal. And his ambition is protection of his friends and protection of creatures. These kind of things, they're just never explored in the game anymore. This game has gotten increasingly worse over the years. It was so good in the beginning. The best parts of a character have always been shown only for the 5 minutes when they are introduced, and when they become a regular friend, just loses all their character sketch. Barnaby was a lot better when we met him in our 3rd year, and he was alright in the 4th year also. But after 5th, 6th and 7th years, he's just the comic relief character. He's barely ever there. Jam City really messed up my boy, and it's not just him. They did this with all the characters. Penny being a glaring example of this because she was just the gossip queen and your always kind friend. Now she's just everywhere and overused. And she doesn't really have a specific character left. Marula has the same problem, honestly. She was getting better around the end of year 5. In year 6 with Rowan's death, she was getting angrier, but she also got better slowly and surely. But with the reveal that her family is an R and she's just, without any questions, obeying them, she's just getting worse and worse from there. All characters in Hogwarts Mystery, including Barnaby, have had the problem that they have potential as characters. They belong in their house for facts that have been mentioned when we met them. But after that, it just all kind of got lost and they became one-dimensional. I'm talking too much about this. Okay, I'm done. I'm done rambling about wasted characters. It's just that, yes, these guys do belong in their houses. It was just mentioned once and never mentioned again. It sounds like Marula was at home from the start, but you weren't always certain of your place, Barnaby. Oh, not at all. Certainly not at first. In my first year, I thought a lot about what I was doing in Slytherin, and sometimes I forgot to think. I didn't feel at home in Slytherin for a long time. When did that change? I'm curious to know this. When did this change? When one day I was competing with a Gryffindor student on the training grounds. I see. We were trying to see who could blast a test on me with incendio more times in a single afternoon. Slytherin versus Gryffindor, that's a classic struggle. Exactly, it was quite heated. We were both blasting away. But after a while I realized we were evenly matched. I was working incredibly hard, but I still wasn't winning. Barnaby being one of the best duelers, which also hasn't been mentioned in a long time. So what did you do? Was it a tie? Almost. Seeing how hard the Gryffindor was working, I got an idea. I was already tiring myself out, so I figured he must be feeling the same way. I see. Instead of trying to match him, I slowed to a pace I could keep up all afternoon. I see. It wasn't long before the Gryffindor was exhausted, and I pulled ahead and ultimately won. Oh my god! My boy being smart! Okay, this is nice. I was just like being sad about how Barnaby has been boiled down to being an idiot, but this is my boy being smart. And this is why my boy belongs in Slytherin. I love him very much. Yes, my boy being smart, I'm so happy. That's quite clever of you, Barnaby. I'll admit, I didn't think you had that level of calculation in you. Shut up, Marula. What do you know about Barnaby? Me neither. It was like my brain took over and gave my body all these thoughts I didn't have before. This is Barnaby. This is peak Barnaby. He is smart when he wants to be. It hadn't happened before and it hasn't happened since. But after that day, I knew I belonged here in Slytherin. That's my boy. That's a great story, Barnaby. I suppose we don't always see our home for what it is straight away. The story doesn't end there. Oh? Once I felt at home in Slytherin, I started noticing. No two Slytherin are exactly alike. We're each our own. Aww, that's sweet. I'm not just a Slytherin, I'm a Barnaby Slytherin. That's so cute. I love that. Oh my god, yes, and you're my Barnaby Slytherin. I love you so much. What did you think, Tulip? Does Barnaby's story make you feel any better about your placement in Ravenclaw? It was a nice story, yes. Oh, come on. But I wonder, don't you think I'm cunning enough to fit in the Slytherin as well? No, I really don't. Your intelligence is different. You're quite clever, but your intelligence is more academic and wise. Slytherins have a bit more of edge to their intelligence and you strike me as more measured. Thanks, Rahi. But I can't help noting that Barnaby's parents were Slytherins too. Perhaps the sorting hat just put you in the same house, Barnaby, and like me, you made the best of it. Jeez, I thought I was the one with the bad attitude. Hey, shut up. It's not a bad attitude, I just want to be certain. I guess I never thought about it that way, but then again, I don't think about things much. I relate. I will say, once I realized how I fit into Slytherin, I haven't felt out of place since. Barnaby has mentioned his parents being Slytherins before, and he has mentioned back when he was introduced that he has felt a bit off about it. But see, he has mentioned why he doesn't feel off about it now and why he really does feel like he belongs. I love my boy so much. I have no doubts I'm in the right house. That's the kind of certainty I'm after. Perhaps like Barnaby, I have to keep looking until I find it for myself. Good for you. You've been inspired. Then we better head on to our next appointment. It's time for me to show off my own beloved Hufflepuff common room. I do love Hufflepuff. I wonder if I can tell Tulip why I feel like I belong here. I wonder what options we'll get, if it is an option at all. Although we'll probably just give Penny options and not ourselves. I've arranged for you to talk with our most Hufflepuff of all Hufflepuffs I know, Penny. I kind of wish it was Tonks. I enjoyed while Barnaby was on screen. Now that Barnaby is no longer on screen, I think I'll just get bored with this TLSQ very quickly. Oh, we have Kiara for the Hufflepuffiest Hufflepuff, and Tonks is over here also. If you're feeling out of sorts, Tulip, dancing always helps. Why do people study when there are so many other interesting things to do? My thoughts exactly. On a daily basis, like why would you want to study? There are so many other things you can do in life when you're not studying. I can never study without a snack nearby. Honestly, whenever I study with a snack, I just kind of get focused on the snack. I really am bad at studying. I am so horrible at studying. Hi Penny, thanks for meeting us here in the Hufflepuff comment room. Tulip has some questions about the house. Of course, Rai, anything for my favorite head girl. It doesn't have the same effect as Barnaby calling me his favorite head girl. It just doesn't. I know we're not supposed to let non-Hufflepuffs in. But I'm just so proud of our house. I couldn't resist the chance to show off our adorable comment room. I really do think the Hufflepuff comment room is adorable. Did you know Helga Hufflepuff's recipes are still used for all of the Hogwarts feast? Okay, that's new information to me. I didn't know that. How interesting. There's much more to Hufflepuff than food, I assure you. Honestly, I'm kind of related to the food. I am so hungry right now. Hi Kiara, are you going to chat to us as well? Penny asked me to come along. I love Kiara so much, I'm glad she's here. I hope you don't mind me inviting her. No, not at all. We love Kiara. I thought she might have some interesting things to add to the conversation. It's perfect we had an unexpected guest when we visited Slytherin as well. Brilliant, Kiara and I had quite different experiences when we were sorted. The moment the sorting hat said the word Hufflepuff, I knew I was home. For me, it was more of a journey. Okay, so you are the Barnaby of the group. Which is fitting because I love Kiara almost as much as I love Barnaby. It's true, if Barnaby wasn't in the game and Ben is not a dating option, I'd probably just go with Kiara. I was not immediately sure I belonged. Interesting, tell us more. Yes, when did you know once and for all that Hufflepuff was your home, Kiara? Oh man, I just kind of want to hear the story, so I might just skip the energy section. Yeah, I just kind of skipped the energy section, it wasn't interesting. Seeing how easily Penny took to being a Hufflepuff, perhaps you could understand why I had a bit of trouble. She's so inclusive and outgoing, but I like time to myself and I can be a bit shy. Penny is such a perfect Hufflepuff, I wonder if this is what was truly the house for me, given our differences. But you don't feel that way anymore. No, I'm a Hufflepuff through and through, I just needed to see it for myself. How did you do that, Kiara? I think that's precisely what Tulip needs. Hagrid and I were caring for some crops one day and he pointed out how committed I was to each of them. He said I didn't play favorites but worked hard to make sure they all got the attention they deserved. Oh, that's cute. To me, it just seemed like the right thing to do. But Hagrid said it was rare to see someone so even-handed with animals. He even said I reminded him of a famous zoologist he knew, Scamander. And after that, you knew you belonged in Hufflepuff. Exactly, I don't know why I couldn't see it before. But I'm as much of a Hufflepuff as Penny is, just in my own way. Yeah, that's right. And that goes for you too, Sarai. You're not exactly like either of us, but you're still a brilliant Hufflepuff. That just seems to be the way with Hufflepuffs. We're a mixed bag of good nuts. I like that so much, that's so cute. Perhaps I'd make a good Hufflepuff then. No, you are a bit too chaotic for Hufflepuff. In their own way, Hufflepuffs are all loyal, fair-minded and empathetic. Doesn't that sound like me? No, it really doesn't. I'm so sorry. You are those things, but there's more to you. You're quite competitive about academics. That's not really typical of a Hufflepuff. No offense. None taken. Competition is stressful. I like collaboration more. Thank you. I would just like to pass my exams. I don't care about scoring good. Perhaps I'm not a Hufflepuff, but that doesn't mean I belong in Ravenclaw. Well, we've only got Gryffindor to see and then there's just Ravenclaw. All I want is to be certain, and so far all I feel is more confused. Perhaps the next common room visit will clear things up. No, I think it'll make things worse, honestly. But I've lined up the perfect Gryffindor for you to talk to. We only know 2 Gryffindors, Ben and Charlie. And Bill, who's graduated. He's happily agreed to sneak you in. Ben? Apparently he's big on risks these days, but I'll tell you right away that wasn't always the case. Ben, definitely Ben. Why am I craving garlic bread? On paper, he's one of the most unlikely Gryffindors, but I've seen him rise to the occasion plenty of times. Ben is a very perfect Gryffindor. Not now. He's big on taking risks and he doesn't feel as much of a Gryffindor. But back in the day, when Ben was still a bit timid and he used to question his placement in Gryffindor, I immediately saw like, oh no, actually Ben is the perfect Gryffindor. He might be scared, but when push comes to shove, he will still face his fears. Even if he's afraid of something, he will still face it. If it's for something good, if it's for his friends, he does that. And that is why I knew from the start, like, even though Ben is timid, he is a good Gryffindor. He's the perfect Gryffindor because he is willing to face his fears. Now it's more along the line of Ben is still a perfect Gryffindor, but he's gotten it into his head in order to be the perfect Gryffindor, he has to take risks, which is not true. He was more perfect as a Gryffindor back before the end of year 5 than he is now. It's time for us to go and chat to Ben Copper. But that's really only the Gryffindor we know, Ben, and then there's Charlie. And if I'm being completely honest, I have never paid much mind to the Weasley family all the Weasleys have been Gryffindors. So I've never questioned any of the Weasleys being in Gryffindor because, well, it's more of a family sorting at this point. So I don't know. I think I'm such an idiot. We have Jay in Gryffindor also. I totally forgot about that. And Corey is also Gryffindor, which is also something I forgot. I forget things, okay? I still can't believe I'm Gryffindor. It's a dream come true. Good for you, first year. I'm glad you're happy with it. It seems like only yesterday the sorting hat made me the happiest witch at Hogwarts. It's always warm in the Gryffindor common room, even when the fire's out. That's nice. Hi, Ben. Thanks for agreeing to talk with us about your experience in Gryffindor. Of course, Rai. Anything from my favorite head girl. You guys don't get to repeat Barnaby's lines, please. It's just, I'm the only head girl. The only other head kid is the head boy, Corey. We only need to show Tulip around and ask a couple of questions. Right, I haven't looked very closely at the house Gryffindor before, but your common room is quite impressive. I'd like to learn a bit more about the house and when you knew you were a good fit for Gryffindor. Well, now that you mention it. Oh, hello. It's no challenge at all to know if one is a good fit for Gryffindor house. That's one quality and one quality alone that defines all Gryffindors, and I just so happen to have it in space. What are you talking about, Nick? What's that, Sir Nicholas? Sit back and I'll tell you all about it. Soon we'll know if you have what it takes to be a Gryffindor. Bravery is a prerequisite for Gryffindor. Trust me. Yep, we know, Ben, we know. Gryffindor is synonymous with bravery. Any kind of bravery. I liked Ben back in the day so much. Like he was like a very great friend. There's a reason I had a crush on him before I met Barnaby. Back in the day, Ben was just like a good homie. He was a good pal. That friend who is just terrified of everything and will cry. But it's also that if you are having trouble, he will stand up for you. He will be there for you. He will literally fight someone for you. Like, that's the kind of bravery Ben has. And I'm so sad that it's all lost now in favor of him being too risky. I'm not saying he has to be the same timid Ben. It's just I wish he would stop taking risks and be constantly aggressive. Like in year 7, he is being very aggressive towards MC. To put a fine point on it, the defining characteristic we Gryffindors all share is our bravery. Naturally, it is quite easy to determine if one belongs in Gryffindor. You're either brave or you are not. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, sir, that's wrong. Mr. Nick, I'm so sorry, that's wrong. What do you mean, Ben? I haven't always been as brave as I am, you know. Yeah, it took me a while to come into my own. I've always loved being a Gryffindor, but perhaps it's fair to say I'm not the most obvious choice. And yet the sorting I didn't hesitate to place you here, I bet. It didn't, no, but I like to think it saw potential in me. Well, you stuck out your neck for us today. We appreciate your help. And mine, of course. Oh yes, and yours, Sir Nicholas. Of course, I have more stories if that would be helpful. Honestly, all this talking is making my head spin. The more I learn about the other houses, the less certain I am that I belong in Ravenclaw. In the end, I think I have the characteristics that would fit with any house. For example, am I not brave enough to be a Gryffindor, Sir Silvers? You are brave, but not Gryffindor brave. You're really not. You're brave, but Gryffindors are brave above all else. I think your primary talents lie elsewhere, like your wit and intelligence. Perhaps you're right. I do feel a bit of everything all at once. I'm not sure what to think. No one is just one-dimensional. It's wrong to think anyone is just one thing. Perhaps I need a bit of time to process what we've heard. I'm going to rest in the Ravenclaw common room for a bit. It's quiet there, and it's where I do my best thinking. Meet me later. I'll sneak you in, and I'm sure we can figure this out together. Sure. Ben didn't exactly mention his growth period, but I think we see his growth period. Ben is one of those Gryffindors we see obvious growth in. He's kind of like Neville. The difference is that Neville is an example of like healthy growth as a Gryffindor. Ben is unfortunately an example of unhealthy Gryffindor growth. But like I'm saying, like in year 6 he started taking too many risks. He got straight up mean. In year 7 he's being a bit too aggressive. We all get wrapped up in our studies this time of the year, and when I say this time of the year, I mean year round. See, that's the typical Ravenclaw, but not all Ravenclaws are like that, and that's fine. Why is Chester here? He graduated. This must be an early year TLSQ. How am I supposed to study with all these students around? Ka, what are you looking at? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Hello Andre, hello Talbot, hello Badia, hello. We knew a lot of Ravenclaws, don't we? This statue is pretty. I've seen it before and I've always liked it. I just like the statue. Statue is cute. Hi Tulip, are you feeling any better? Our talk with Ben seemed to spin you out a bit. It did. I appreciate how supportive you've been, Sir Silvers. But after talking with friends from each house, I feel even less certain that I belong in Ravenclaw. I'm sorry, Tulip, I only meant to help, not make you doubt yourself. It's not that I doubt myself, but if the sorting hat was wrong, it could affect my whole life. I don't think it does. I'm not used to simply trusting other people when it's something this important. Well, we're not quite finished yet. We have one house left to learn about after all. We still haven't talked about our Ravenclaw friend, Tulip Krasu. I'm quite curious what she has to say about her house. Good point, Sly Silvers. If you want to be thorough, I suppose you should let Ravenclaw have a say in all this. Yeah, now tell me what you think about this house. Why aren't we asking the others also? So Ravenclaw students are known for their wit, wisdom and academic abilities. That sounds like you and me, Tulip. Thanks, Sly Silvers. But I can also be cunning, competitive, hardworking, loyal and willing to rise to the occasion. I suppose you're right. See, looking at it all together, it becomes a bit confusing. The more I think about it, the less certain I feel. And perhaps you've been going about this all wrong. Over the course of our conversations, it became clear that some of our friends took to their houses straight away, but others needed time to see how they fit in. That's true, many of them had a decisive moment that helped clarify things. Like Barnaby in his contest or Kiara with the crops. Exactly, perhaps all we need is to provide you a moment like that. But those things happen randomly. Can't just wait around for that to happen to me. You won't have to. I'll ask each of our friends to come up with a challenge based on the story they told us. Each challenge will serve as a test to see if you're truly a good fit for their house. Ooh, I like a challenge. Really? Perfect. If all goes well, one of these challenges could become your decisive moment. I'll send word to Barnaby now. We can meet him in the training grounds once he has devised the first challenge. I want to spend more time with Barnaby. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. But the thing is, I'm getting bored with this TLSQ. You and Tulip embark on a series of challenges to see which house can truly be called home. Alright? I am hungry. It's only 5:30. We're not even close to dinner time. Oh, Quaffles. Hey Barnaby, what are you doing? Oh my god, I'm interested to see what he's come up with. What have you come up with, boy? Thanks for setting up this test, Barnaby. Soon we'll know for sure if Tulip is a good fit for Slytherin. It's my pleasure, Sarai. Is it every day the head girl asks you to come up with an athletic challenge to decide your friend's future? Are those Quaffles? Would I, but we won't be playing Quidditch. I've come up with a simple new challenge because, well, simple is best. I relate. All you have to do is grab a Quaffle and use it to tag everyone on the opposing team before they tag you. Neither team can cross this line here, and if you get hit by a Quaffle, you're out. Also, it's basically rugby. No, dodgeball, not rugby, dodgeball. Last team standing is the winner. That sounds easy enough. I'm glad because it took me all day to think of it. Okay, well. Okay, my darling. Okay, since you two are in this together, it's only fair I team you up. It'll be you versus Slytherin. 2 against 1. That doesn't seem totally fair, Barnaby. Shush, Sarai, we got this. Oh, I didn't say you 2 against me. I said you 2 against Slytherin. Alright. You got friends. Oh. Now get ready for the race of the Quaffles and may all the 2 Slytherins win. Okay, it is so nice to see Barnaby being smart. Quick, let's strategize. Oh, come on. We don't need to do something interesting. Since when am I fast? I'm very flattered that you think I am, but I didn't know you thought I was. The slightest positive comment from Barnaby is enough to send me into a blushing mess today. I am really affection-starved, aren't I? Okay, I hope we have a fun cutscene now. Please, fun cutscene. Give me the fun cutscene. I slipped and Barnaby beat me to the Quaffles. I didn't manage to get any. That's alright, I still have a one. It looks like the Slytherin's got the other 3. We can't tag 4 Slytherins with 1 Quaffle. Electricity, do not. You're right, this isn't a challenge. It's a massacre. The only way for us to win is to get all 4 Slytherins out with 1 Quaffle, but how? I didn't explicitly say we couldn't use magic. Huh? That's true, and Defendo cuts an object into even parts. Wait, we could use it to cut our 1 Quaffle into 4. Huh? But you'll have to be quick about it. What if we accidentally hurt someone? I'm a little scared of this idea. Since you have the Quaffle, you throw it and I'll cast Defendo. If we sink this side, we cut the Quaffle while it's flying towards the Slytherin and tag them all at once. Alright, here goes nothing. Oh, what the hell is this idea? You're up, Sai Silvas. Cast Defendo. There was a line about the grounds being muddy and so we slipped. Defendo. Oh. Okay. Okay, but who's going to pay for the Quaffle we damaged? We got all 4 Slytherin. And you still think you're not a good fit for Ravenclaw. That was amazing. I can't believe it, Paul. We make a good team, Tulip. It seems you would make good Slytherins too. How does winning that competition prove you're good Slytherins, by the way? It's not just that you won, it's how you won. We did not hit you that hard. It was like quarter of a quaffle. You don't have to limp. You didn't give up even when you were totally outmatched. That's classic Slytherin confidence. And a willingness to bend the rules to make sure you came out on top. That's proper Slytherin cunning. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. Now that you've won the Slytherin contest, you feel like a Slytherin Tulip. I mean, it feels good to win. If that's what it feels like to be a Slytherin, perhaps I really am in the wrong house. But I'm going to withhold judgment until we've tried the other tests. In that case, I have a message from Kiara to give you. She told me she'd have your Hufflepuff test set up in the Care of Magical Creatures classroom. Alright? I have to send you that way when we're done here, so consider yourself set. Thank you, Barnaby. You are my smart boy and I love you very much. Build it. We'll head to this Comsy classroom next. Comsy classroom. I am hungry and I can no longer think. Puppies! I see crappies! Puppy crappies! There you are, Sarai. Hagrid, what are you doing here? I hear you're not so sure about your house, Miss Krasu. Yes, we've been looking into whether or not she'd be a good fit in a different house. Well, you are in now. Kiara's planned the perfect test to see how you have fit into Hufflepuff. What's that, Hagrid? Puppies! Puppies! I'm gonna die. This is so cute. This quest has immediately been redeemed in my eyes. There were two Barnaby. We see Barnaby being smart and we see puppies. I'm going to release these here clubs and we'll see how fast you can round them up. Since Kiara and I worked together in the past, I figure you can help Sarahi Tulip. You can help Tulip Sarahi. That's everything. We're just rounding up crops. We should have that done in no time. Do you know how chaotic puppies are? Well, we'll see. Time to get after it and then. I can't read. Oh my god, look at him. Look at him, they run. Look at him run and do things. Look at how cute they are. Hi, puppy. These crabs are trying to eat those toadstools. Quick, get those toadstools before the crabs do. That toadstool is sleeping away from the crabs. And these two are just careful with those crabs. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. It's alright, little one. Let's be gentle. Oh my god, they're so cute. I love them. Don't let them get away. They're so cute. Some crabs are easy to herd. Others simply won't listen. Oh my god, they're so cute. I love them so much. There is nothing like playing with puppies to brighten up your day. There's nothing like it. We got all the crabs back into the pen, but did we get all the toadstools where they were trying to eat Tulip? We did. I think we got them all. But those crabs are quite eager to eat the toadstools. We barely saved them. It might have hurt our time, but we couldn't just let them be devoured. You're right, they were clearly trying to escape danger. Brilliant, I knew you could do it. Were we fast enough? Yeah, we're quite fast and quite gentle with the crabs. However, the real test was those toadstools you saved. Do you know what kind of toadstools they are? Leaping toadstools. They're leaping toadstools, Hagrid. I could tell by the way they moved. That's right. I knew you'd recognize them. Anyone can round up crabs, but you two went out of your way to protect those leaping toadstools. Well, you couldn't have just let them get eaten. Exactly. You respected the living thing equally and valued their safety over winning this challenge. Plus, identifying them as sleeping toadstools proved you have a knack for herbology. They're pretty obvious, they hop. The toadstools were the real test, and you have proven you'd make an excellent Hufflepuff Tulip. Oh, now he's confused again. You don't seem happy, Tulip. I'm happy we saved the crabs and the leaping toadstools. But now that I've passed 2 tests, everything feels a bit uncertain again. If I would make a good Slytherin and a good Hufflepuff, I'm not sure what that says about my place in Ravenclaw. Let's do as you said before and withhold judgment until we've taken all of the tests. Who knows, perhaps Gryffindor test will provide some much needed clarity. And the Ravenclaw one too. You're right, let's hurry up the Gryffindor test next. Wonder what Ben's gonna have. Kind of interested. So what's Ben got? It's got something to do with training dummies. Hi Ben! Thanks for preparing a challenge to help determine if Tulip would make a good Gryffindor. Me, I didn't prepare any challenge. But Hagrid sent us here to meet you. Honestly, I have no idea why. I don't even know what I'm doing here. That's odd. Perhaps Hagrid was wrong. Who sent you here, Ben? Nearly Headless Snake asked me to meet him here. He said it was a matter of life and death. But why would... Please don't tell me you released a magical creature again. That's too dangerous. Roar! What was that? Oh, it's semantic. I mean, what is this? Graphon! Look, dude. This is just too much. It's a Graphon. It's headed this way and it's not slowing down. With clear path, it might run right over us. Okay, so why did we have to take such a big risk? We could just have hit terrain. We could just hit training dummies or something. The Graphon is quite upset about something. It just keeps coming. Ah! Okay, but why is this Graphon so grumpy? Who hurt you, baby? Ben, watch out! Is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. What is the Graphon even doing here? Is this my Graphon from the reserve? Phew, we managed to avoid being trampled by the Graphon, but it's not giving up. It's not done, you know. You got to do something fast or it's going to run us over. Perhaps you could use Incendio. The Graphon's hide is so thick the spell won't hurt it at all. Isn't that the Graphon's thing? Spells don't hurt it. Plus, we don't want to hurt the Graphon. We just want it to leave us alone. You have to think of a spell that doesn't penetrate its hide but will still calm it down. Or at least distract it. Wait, what about Reckless Emperor? That's perfect. We can't penetrate its hide, but we can tickle it. That should keep it busy. Alright, we better do it quick. The Graphon is about to charge again. Jeez, what pissed this guy off? Alright, let's see if this works. What has any of this got to do with Tulip probably belonging in Gryffindor? I'm falling asleep. Okay, that's kind of funny. We did it. You most certainly did. So that was a very stupid idea. You conquered the Graphon and passed my test. Nearly had to stick you set a Graphon after us. How dare you? Someone could have been hurt. She is right. Even if I admire your risk taking, that was fairly reckless, Sir Nicholas. They're coming from you, Ben. That's a little hypocritical, but okay. However irresponsible my actions may have been, they made one thing quite clear. You are all brave enough to rank amongst the bravest of Gryffindors. You worked together and you did not hesitate to act. You did not let the surprise get the best of you. Oh no, we've passed another test. What's wrong, Tulip? If I could fit just a cell into any other house, I can't rightly say I belong at Ravenclaw. Perhaps we haven't completed the Ravenclaw test yet. No more tests. Honestly, I am no better off than when we started. I'm sorry if I upset you both, it wasn't my intention. I assumed you'd be proud to find out you are brave enough for Gryffindor. It's not that I'm not proud, Sir Nicholas. It's just hard when you aren't sure when you belong. Of course it is, Julia, but we can still figure things out. Perhaps we can, but I need to do some research on my own. Meet me in the Ravenclaw common room. I'll sneak you in again so we can talk. So it's basically that's going to be the Ravenclaw test. Ravenclaw common room is empty. Thanks for meeting me, Sly. We have so much to discuss. You seem to be in a better mood. I am. I think I'm on to something. Studying the sorting hat ceremony led me to learn a lot about the history of our houses. Apparently, the founding of the houses may have led to fracturing of 4 founders' friendships. Really? How? It's a long story, but let's just say it wasn't good. Oh, I didn't see you there. Don't mind her, she's only being helpful. She saw me studying the houses and started providing the material from her private archives. Oh, that's nice. When I get overwhelmed, it always helps me to learn as much as I can about whatever it is that's bothering me. That explains your new mood. It does, and I've learned all kinds of interesting things. For example, we should solve a riddle from our enchanted door knocker to enter the common room, as you know. But Ignatia Wildsmith, the inventor of Flu Powder, was a Ravenclaw. She once tried to solve it on her own and wound up camping outside the door for 2 whole days. Perhaps that influenced her invention. When you've got Flu Powder, you don't need to worry about doors. Perhaps. Listen, I'm sorry I skipped the Ravenclaw test, Silvers. I just needed to clear my head by filling it with information. It's alright, Tulip. In fact, I think we may have the results of the test right here. Just look at how incredibly Ravenclaw you're being about all of this. I don't see it. Your information, you're getting information. I'll explain. Once I do, I'm sure you'll see what I mean. Look, Tulip, I love you, but I'm getting really tired. My feet have fallen asleep and I don't like it. Ravenclaws tend to do their own research. Do I feel like I understand the houses better than anyone else now? Of course. Most of these books seem to be written by Ravenclaws. I hope that table can support all that weight. We're gonna figure this out, Tulip. I think we've already figured it out, right? You're a Ravenclaw for a reason. She's just going to stand there silently this whole time. That kind of freaks me out. Like, at least make a comment. Ravenclaws are known to put academics above all, but they're always a bit eccentric in their pursuits. It's true, if these books have taught me anything, it's Ravenclaws have a natural intelligence. But many of them are a bit odd. Exactly, you're naturally intelligent too, Tulip, and you don't settle for your first thought. And you don't take anyone else's opinion at gospel either. You prefer a well-researched conclusion. Look at all the books you read just so you could challenge your placement in Ravenclaw. But the fact that you did all of this may prove the Sorting Hat was right. Oh, this has become about much more than me and the Sorting Hat's rice silvers. The more I read, the more I wonder about the benefit of having separate houses at all. What do you mean? If we just pass the Ravenclaw test, that means I've officially passed all four. I could fit into any house. I may not feel at home in any house but Ravenclaw, but perhaps that's because being a Ravenclaw is limiting my sense of what possible. That's because of stereotypes. People just assume that because you're Ravenclaw, you're smart and you like to read and you always get straight A's. But that's not the thing. I think you're missing something, Tulip. The houses have been an important part of the Hogwarts experience for hundreds of years. And Dumbledore wouldn't ask students to participate in something that limited us. I agree, but I've thought about it a lot and I can't figure out why a magical hat is allowed to decide our fates. I'll talk to Dumbledore right now and find out for certain why the Sorting Hat ceremony still plays tapes. You go to Dumbledore's office, I'll keep reading. We'll get to the bottom of this one way or another. Can this TLSQ end already? I'm very tired. Oh, finally, the last part. After sage words from Dumbledore and another visit to the Sorting Hat, Tulip reveals a secret and you both have an unexpected revelation. Huh? What is happening? Hello, Professor Dumbledore. Hopefully this is the last time we'll see him today. Thanks for agreeing to meet with me, Headmaster. I'm here because Tulip has been researching the formation of the houses. She says the divisions have been responsible for the fracturing of the four Hogwarts founders' friendship. I've come to prove her that we uphold these traditions for good reason. What happened between the Hogwarts founders was tragic. But there is much more to the story than the formation of the Hogwarts houses. And I assure you the houses are not meant to limit or divide you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I know we are reaching the end of the TLSQ, but forgive me for skipping things. I am tired, hungry and sweaty now. Rather than limiting students, each house speaks to their unique strengths and interests. They allow you to learn from one another and nurture your natural aptitudes. Your house is like your family. It is the foundation upon which each student builds their own future. It's funny you should mention family. Tulip brought up her family several times over the course of her adventure, particularly her parents. Perhaps that's an area where you could apply your trademark curiosity. You think Tulip's uneasiness in Ravenclaw has something to do with her parents? I can't claim to know the inner workings of Miss Karasu's mind. But sometimes to reach the end of the story, one must travel back to the beginning. Do that and perhaps then everything will be sorted as it should. Huh? What does any of that even mean? I was sitting at the reserve and I couldn't find a single crab. Oh no! This person wants puppies! I could have sworn I had a Grappen's roar by the training grounds earlier. Oh my god, I hope we're not going to get blamed for that. Where are all the school's quaffles gone? Oops. But there is no way the school has only 4 quaffles. Come on. Tulip! Are you sad? Please don't be sad. I'll also be sad if you're sad. Oh no, don't be sad, Tulip. What's wrong? There you are, Tulip. Yep, just out for a walk, watching all the happy students happily sorted. Lucky them. I take it you haven't come to any new conclusions about the sorting ceremony since I last saw you. Sometimes you learn so much and it's impossible to think, Sarai. The more I read, the more examples of well-sorted students who went on to do great things. Perhaps you were right, these houses don't limit us and I simply don't belong anywhere. Or perhaps this isn't about the house at all. I don't follow? I'm still piecing it together myself, but Dumbledore said something that stuck in my ear. Okay, tell me everything he said. Perhaps his wise yet cryptic advice will help us sort things out. We need to tap things for another 8 hours. I'm skipping this. I'm tired, hungry, and I want to take a nap. Oh, my head feels a bit heavy now. But I think I get what Tulip's problem is. The only reason she's apprehensive about Ravenclaw is because her parents were in Ravenclaw and she doesn't want to be like them. Talking to Dumbledore left me with a lot of questions, but he did say the houses don't decide your fate. According to him, they provide a strong foundation upon which you can build your own future like a family. To be honest, hearing that made me think about how often you've mentioned your parents on this adventure. My parents have nothing to do with this. You did say you were worried that they had only put you into Ravenclaw because it's your parents' house. I never said that, or if I did, I must have been thinking of someone else. Yes, you did say that. If you want to know the truth, the sorting had a terrible case of hat stall when I was sorted. Oh, I remember that. You were up there for several minutes. 5 whole minutes, in fact. It was so embarrassing. The sorting hat spent all that time thinking, then out of the blue declared me a Ravenclaw. Ever since I've wondered if I stumped the hat. And in the absence of a clear part, it just stuck me in the same house as my parents. Would that be so bad? You must be joking. My parents were boring, typical type A Ravenclaws. They were so sharp they practically had talents, but they were also stuffy, strict and overbearing. Like Sarahi's mother. By the way, Sarahi's parents were both Ravenclaws, but then Sarahi and Jacob are Hufflepuffs. That's not me, Sarahi Silvers, I'm fun. More importantly, I'm my own witch. Then perhaps the sorting tat had more on its mind than your parents when it sorted you into Ravenclaw. You can't say that for certain. No, not yet, but perhaps I can after we talk to the sorting hat again. It said we could stop by any time and say hello, didn't it? So let's go talk to it now and get some answers. We won't leave until this is settled. Please be the last part. My head is heavy now. Why is my head spinning? I don't know why my head is spinning. It must be because of the sweating. Hello. I'm Miss Silvers and Miss Karasu back again so soon. I don't feel as weird about talking about a hat now. Up top with a hat now. Well, as you said, we saw for ourselves that Tulip would fit better in another house. The results seem to suggest she could fit well into any of them. So we've come to find out once and for all why you placed her in Ravenclaw. Yeah, did you sort me into Ravenclaw just because my parents were in Ravenclaw? You say you saw for yourself, but it sounds like to me you haven't seen anything. We were quite thorough. And still you managed to miss a rather important piece of the puzzle. Or perhaps you're dodging the question yet again. Honestly, I'm not sure what you could have missed. Oh? Tell me all you have done. We'll see if I'm the one who's missed something or if it was indeed the two of you. Okay, I guess. I couldn't make heads or tails of that conversation during the tapping section anyway. The two of you have certainly done a lot. You spoke to your friends, learned about the other houses and put yourselves to the test. But I was right in my original assessment. There's one important place you forgot to look. What's that? Put me on for a moment. I'd like to speak with you in private. Huh? How does that work? Alright, legitimacy. The last time you wore me, your thoughts were much clearer. There was pain, but less uncertainty, less fear. That's because I was a child who didn't know what I was doing and didn't know what would happen in the following years. You've had to grow up quite a bit since we last met. What's all this got to do with the sorting ceremony? I remember the happiness I saw on your face at the thought of being placed in Hufflepuff. It cut through all the noise. But how did you know I'd be right for Hufflepuff? I just kind of chose it. What I just said, your happiness at the thought. That's how I knew Miss Silvers. You ask how I make my decisions, but the truth is I'm not the one who makes them. You may have been successful in any house, but Hufflepuff is your home. Not because I selected you for it, but because you chose it for yourself. Oh? That sounds interesting. Tell me what it said, I couldn't hear a thing. The sorting hat reminded me of the day I was sorted. The day I was sorted, I knew I wanted to be in Hufflepuff. There was no question in my mind, and I was so happy when the hat declared me a Hufflepuff. That's nice for you, but I'm not sure what it's got to do with me and my future. Don't you get it, Tulip? The hat's not the one who decides our fate. We do. But that means exactly you chose to be in Ravenclaw. The hat only encouraged you down that path. And it knew exactly where you wanted to be because it's a legitimate. You aren't in Ravenclaw because your parents were. You're there because you chose it for yourself. Of course, stubborn as she can be, it took Miss Karasu 5 whole minutes to admit it. But when she finally did it, I was quite happy with her decision. Tulip has made many different talents, but I knew she'd make an interesting Ravenclaw. They're always so delightfully eccentric, aren't they? It can't be. Are you saying you don't want to be in Ravenclaw, Tulip? It's not that. It's just I don't know if I can believe it. Perhaps the hat's just covering. Oh, come on! You may be able to hide the truth from others, Miss Karasu, even from yourself. But not from me. I don't know. Are you alright, Tulip? I'm fine. I just need time to process all this. Meet me in the courtyard later, Sarahi Silvers. There's something I need to tell you. Okay. Can this quest just be over now, please? Tulip, I'm tired. Tulip, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, and I need a cup of tea. Please. can we end this TLSQ, which had no reason to exist. There you are, Tulip. You said you had something you wanted to talk to me about? Thanks for meeting Miss Rice, but you still seem grumpy. And thanks for help with all of this unexpected existential crisis. I've been thinking about what you said before, and there's something I need to get off my chest. Okay. The truth is, I have a lot of complaints about my parents, and everything I've said is true. But if I'm being totally honest, deep down, I'm still quite impressed by them. They work so hard and they've accomplished everything they set out to do. It's been hard to feel at home in Ravenclaw with their shadow looming over me. So all of this because you didn't want to be compared to your parents. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but next to them, I still feel like I'd always be a disappointment as a Ravenclaw. It felt better to think I might have been sorted wrong. I'm so sorry, Tulip. Don't be sorry, Sly Silvers. You supported my every weird whim throughout all of this. And you helped me remember I'm nothing like my parents and I don't have to be. Like Barnaby, Kiara and Ben, I see now that I'm my own kind of Ravenclaw thanks to you. So I had something made. I'd like you to try it on. Holy frick. Okay, Tulip. It's spectacular, yes. It's so ugly. A color changing coat, it's spectacular. I had enchanted so it changes colors when you wear it. Each color corresponds to a different house, to a different shadow you. You helped me remember that we're all a little bit of our everything, and I could make it work in any house. But I'm truly at home where I am with the family I've chosen for myself. Ravenclaw. Okay, great. Now we have this ugly coat. Okay, TLSQ's over, people. Okay, so TLSQ's over, and now my final thoughts are that, well, this TLSQ had no reason to be as long as it is. It has a good reason for existing, Tulip having her existential crisis, and us figuring out from other friends how they found out that they belong in their house. Personal bias, the redeeming factor of this TLSQ is the fact that I get to spend time with Barnaby, and I get to hear from him how he found out he belongs. It's just that this TLSQ did not have to be so long. It's also the fact that I'm really tired and sweaty now. But I think I'll give this TLSQ like a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 because it's just a decent TLSQ, but it had no reason for existing. But with that, all that, this TLSQ is over. I hope you people enjoyed this TLSQ. I know I was a bit tired and kind of a buzzkill by the end of this TLSQ, but I was only by the end. I was pretty okay when I began. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see all of you next week for whatever we get next week. Bye everyone. Have a nice day and a nice week. Hope you are not as annoyed as me when it comes to college and life in general. Bye everyone. Love you.